Good afternoon. Haley Elementary is another Friday. I know you guys are probably as exhausted as I am, but we have 2 weeks to go before spring break. I just wanted to announce a few things that were going on for this coming week. So you'd be ready to start off the 2 weeks before we go on spring break. Starting off on Monday, each of you will find a sheet that looks like this in your mailboxes. This is an initiative by the PBIS committee to try to give us just something for kids to look forward to, for us to remind kids of what our expectations are. And we're going to do that through positive compliments. Anytime your class receives a compliment, you will color in a letter. For what you are trying to do is fill up as many sheets as you possibly can. So if your class fills up 15 sheets, great. If they fill up 20 sheets, amazing. The class that has the most sheets colored by the Thursday before we go on spring break, because we're not here that Friday because of Good Friday, will win a pizza party. If we have to do multiple pizza parties because we have a tie, that's great. If you want to build in classroom incentives for your class, if they every time they get one sheet filled in, every time they maybe get five, you can do that. We want to make this as easy and pain free as possible. So it's just coloring in a letter. You can hang it on your door, you can hang it in your classroom, and you're trying to get as many compliments as you can. We're going to make sure that all staff knows about this as well, so we can be on the lookout for great expectation behavior, and so we can give your class compliments. So we're looking forward to this. Hopefully, we can make it fun, exciting for the kids, and also exciting for us because I know we all need something to be looking forward to. Talking about things to look forward to, I did look at the calendar and I realized that grades are due on Wednesday, March the 21st. That is the same day that we have professional learning scheduled. And just so to give you all the time that is allotted to get grades done, we're going to cancel our professional learning for this week and move that to next week. But we will still have the staff meeting on March 22nd to go over the feedback that was received a few weeks ago. Again, I appreciate your patience on waiting for us to get done with iStep and iRead 3 before revisiting those comments. Also, for next week, don't forget the book fair is all week next week. So, Mrs. Berry has done a fantastic job once again getting that set up and getting you all scheduled to get in, take a look, and to go shopping for next week. Copier training will be on March the 20th. This is voluntary, but it's for anyone who wants some additional training about how to use the copiers that were installed this year. Again, don't forget that grades are due by March 21st at 8 a.m. So make sure your grades are in and also that you finalize them for each content area. Lastly, we have on Friday, March 23rd, Donuts with Dads. So please make sure that you're here on time, especially if you want a parking spot. And I would ask that teachers and staff just come down and help us welcome any of our guests in that day. Other than that, I just wanted to share that I have begun doing focus feedbacks. I have those all scheduled. So I'm trying to get done 2 weeks prior to May 1st so I can start having meetings and have that wrapped up as soon as possible because we have that other round of iStep coming here pretty soon. Some other announcements that I have for you are please don't forget that information I gave you about the curriculum writing POC, that the curriculum department is looking for experienced teacher leaders to participate in a curriculum writing professional learning community. The curriculum writing POC applications will actually be posted on Monday, March 19th, and run until the 23rd. I will include that information in the email that I send out with this link as well. Some other information that I thought would be valuable is part of our Title I dollars I have set aside for any of you that would be interested in attending this year's All Right Summer Institute. I will be attaching the registration information for that. To the email, and if we can get 3 teachers to attend from our school, the registration fee is actually waived, so make sure that you take a look at that information. Lastly, I just wanted to wrap up with that I appreciated our conversations this week around the FWCS teaching and learning cycle. And each week, I'm going to try to just take a portion of the cycle to highlight some areas from the book, Becoming a Learning Team. If you're interested, and learning more about it. All your each QIT member for every grade level should have a copy of this book, as well as the coaches and Jennifer, the assistant principal. But I wanted to just talk about, when we talk about analyzing data, so often it's become a popular term that we use a lot in education. And actually, the opening paragraph of the chapter reads like this: Teachers and school leaders have been pressed to use data over the last few decades, and that pressure is increasing. Yet, while data use has become a popular term among educators and politicians, evidence demonstrates that teachers and school leaders still struggle with making sense of data in the service of improved learning outcomes. The chapter goes on and it says this about data. By themselves, data are neither good nor bad, neither positive nor negative. Moreover, data have no meaning or intrinsic value when considered in isolation. They can be relevant or irrelevant, pertinent or immaterial. Data become meaningful and valuable only when processed, usually for the purpose of answering specific questions. And I wanted to just read those two passages because as we dive into deeper to understanding the learning cycle and applying it, especially around next year and it becoming a required expectation here at Haley. We do a lot of data collection, but oftentimes I hear teams talk about that we're not as precise about using that data to inform our instruction. So over the next week, as we talk about and as we continue to learn more about the cycle, think about what does your team need to do to ensure that the data you are collecting is providing, one, the information that you need, and two, that you're using that information to actually change instruction. If we're continuing to give assessments such as DIBELS, common assessments, SRI, whatever is replacing Previ and those other assessments that we've used, and we're just constantly collecting data and having great conversations around it, but then we're not doing anything to actually make changes to the way we instruct our students, then we can't anticipate different results. So I am encouraging you, I am challenging you, and I am putting that commitment out there that as we dive into using the teaching and learning cycle in our daily work, that we are actually using data to change instruction. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm going to try to just relax as much as possible. And I want you to do the same. And I look forward to seeing you all on Monday. Take care.